And my Instagram's taking forever today. All right, anyway. All right, so let's talk about creatine real quick. Creatine has been a big deal in the bodybuilding community for a long time because of the way that it affects muscle function and energy. When we bring in creatine, one of the big things that we like to use for is it helps the muscles create more energy. So it helps the body move from ADP, which is adenosine diphosphate, into adenosine triphosphate. But it also holds water in the musculature. And this is one of those big things that, like, when you start taking creatine, you have to understand is the way things get in and out of your cells is usually through like an osmotic process, right? So there's high concentration, low concentration, and you have to have a medium that kind of carries it through, and water is oftentimes the medium, which is one of those big reasons, like, why do I have to drink so much? Well, because it's critical for getting things in and out of the tissues and making everything function. So what you have to do when you're taking creatine is you have to increase your water intake so that the water, not only will the water carry the creatine into the tissue, but it'll hold water in the tissue. One of the reasons that it's so fantastic for all sorts of tissues is because it holds water. And so the body can detoxify a little bit easier. Like, think of water as like a dump truck. And your body fills the dump truck with trash, and then the water flows out of your body and sweat or urine or fecal matter or whatever. But as it comes out, it's carrying those toxins out with it. So those are metabolic waste type things. So it's really, really important that we hold enough water inside the cell so that we can get that osmolality function going so that we can move things back and forth easier. So get lots and lots of water in when you're taking creatine. So a lot of people have noticed, if you're a creatine person, that the recommendations have gone from 5 grams a day to 30 grams a day for some people. I don't know exactly how much I take because I take about a spoonful, and it's probably 15, 20 grams, and I take it twice a day. I take it in the morning when I get here, take all my supplements, and I take it about 30-ish, 40 minutes before I go work out. Again, lots and lots of water. So what a lot of people will notice is that they're like, oh my gosh, I gained weight because of creatine. Technically, yes. But again, we have to like really kind of look at weight. Like, did you gain fat? No, then you're probably fine. So if you didn't gain fat and water just is being held in your muscle tissues again, that's fine. So you might gain 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds, but it's not water retention like you're holding it in your belly. It's water absorption. It's water going into the muscle tissues, making them healthier and function better. It also helps with contractile force. So if you're pulling together, the healthier and the more hydrated the tissues are, the more they can contract because it makes them function a little bit easier. We've seen significant, it's like 5%, 5-6%, but which is significant for an athlete, difference in contractile force when fully hydrated versus dehydrated. There's also a issue with injury that's tied to that as well. So the creatine is going to help hold that water in the muscle tissue. It also helps it hold it in the brain. Creatine is extremely neuroprotective. I've been telling it's funny because the parents will come and be like, my son wants creatine and I don't know if I'm like, he should 100% should have it, as should your daughter. The problem we get into is that because it's a bodybuilding thing, people think it's dangerous. It is not only not dangerous, it's kind of a massive benefit to your body. The research on concussion, so brain damage, traumatic brain injury, and recovery with creatine versus without is significantly more beneficial on the creatine side. And so in the way that we started doing research on this was so many athletes were on creatine and so many of them weren't. And that when we started getting concussions and people started getting better faster than others, we started looking at being like, why? Because again, concussions are a big deal. We started finding out, hey, what are the things that these guys are all taking creatine? So we did research studies on it. We found out that, yeah, actually it's highly neuroprotective. So if you have a kid, boy, girl, doesn't matter, who's playing any sport where they might fall down, people are like, basketball is not a concussion sport. Basketball is a massive concussion sport. Soccer is a massive concussion sport. That's why they don't let the younger kids hit the ball with their head because of concussions. So, basically, if you're in a sport, wrestling, all these things we don't think of, if you're in a sport where your head might move quickly because you fall down, you get knocked down, you slip and fall, you need neuroprotection. So bringing that creatine is going to be highly beneficial for the brain. So, and those things are going to be, one of those things you've got to start kind of focusing on if you're going to be an athlete, is getting that stuff in. So, and all these things add up. So it's one of those deals where it's like, so if all I did was creatine, if all you did was creatine, you would probably notice a benefit. But if you'll mix the creatine with the methylated B vitamins. You'll mix it with, the omega acids. You'll mix it with the amino acids. You'll mix it with all the stuff that your body requires, all the chemicals your body requires. All of a sudden, you start getting this massive synergistic bonus where everything starts being awesome. So creatine's fantastic. Your body would be, if you took too much, would be way better for you than if you didn't take enough. That's the easiest way to put it. You're not going to take so much that you accidentally hurt yourself, because if you look at it and you're like, I'm taking 4 tablespoons at a time, you should look at that mound and go, that's probably not more. That's probably more I need to do. So anything that looks like even a little bit pushy, like 15 grams at a time for someone who's 150 pounds, more than you probably need, but not going to hurt you. So err on the side of, a little bit extra if you're erring on it, or measure it up to you. But about 15 grams a day is pretty good for, split in half or split in thirds is fantastic for your 130 to 200 pound person, whether it's a male or female. And then if you get over about 200 pounds, 30-ish a day is a pretty solid number. So those type of things are really beneficial. So if you guys are thinking about creatine, I would highly recommend you bring it in. And the amounts of, so like creatine is on the blood tables as something we pull. Taking creatine and swallowing it and that type of thing isn't going to significantly raise your creatine levels. So don't, like in your blood, like in your blood reports. So don't worry too much about that. It's going to be absorbed and utilized in the muscle tissues. So I would recommend you guys take it. If you guys have any other questions, hit us up, questions@chalmerswellness.com. Thanks for your time. Have a fabulous day.